Well, hey, welcome back, and thank you for tuning into my channel. So today, I'm going to review, rate, and give facts on Saw 2. Saw 2 came out October 28th, 2005, one day shy of the one-year anniversary of the original Saw film. Now, what makes Saw 2 somewhat unique is that they didn't have a script from scratch for the sequel. In fact, the sequel was greenlit the opening weekend of Saw because it did so well. So they were starting on a script, but a man named of Darren Lynn Bousman had been going around with a script called The Desperate, and studios didn't want it because it was too Saw-like. So the original writer of the first Saw film heard about this, and he approached him and asked if he wouldn't mind tweaking his script to make a direct sequel to Saw. And he had no problem whatsoever because it was still his original idea. Everything, the whole plot is his, except they just introduced the characters of the first film and made it a direct sequel. So Tobin Bell returns to play as Jigsaw, Shawnee Smith returns to play as Amanda, and you have Donnie Wahlberg in this, pretty sure his first blockbuster movie. I mean, Donnie is not as famous as Mark, let's just face that fact. But yeah, this movie is not so much of a horror movie to me. It still falls under the category, but to me it's more of a mystery suspense thriller. You still don't know what's going to happen. You're still on the edge of your seat because you can't guess anything. Everything surprises you. But like, there's just no scare factor, at least not to me. There's nothing that just, like, not in the first one. The first one was very dark and just tons of jump scares. Here there's like no jump scares, maybe one. But the film had a higher budget than the first one. It had $4 million budget and it grossed over $140 million. So it's still very profitable and successful. It also only took 25 days to film, which is crazy, which also explains how it was able to produce a sequel in less than a year. You know, usually when you wait for sequels, you wait for 2+ years, which sucks for sometimes. But let's see what Jigsaw has plans for his victims this time. Saw 2 opens up with a clear message to Detective Matthews. Accepting the challenge, Detective Matthews and his team find a dying, sickly Jigsaw with ease. Cocky and full of confidence, Matthews eggs on Jigsaw, letting him know that he has lost and that he's going to jail. But Jigsaw says that he has another problem to worry about. Matthews uncovers monitors revealing more victims, and one of them, his son. Scared and pissed off, Matthews threatens Jigsaw, but Jigsaw tells him of the situation that he is in. So, this is what makes Saw 2 so unique. So in the first one, you're like, oh, who's the killer? Who's the killer? Who's doing this? And you don't find out to the very end. But here, in the sequel, there's no point in keeping the whole mystery of the killer, because it wouldn't surprise you. That shocking surprise would be there. So right in the beginning, first 5 minutes, the cops find him, and you're like, oh, well, he's getting arrested. Oh, wait, no, he's not, because they can't take him because of the shit that's going on. So it's kind of like oh, he got you, So it still keeps you on the edge of your seat and you don't really know what's going on. That's what's a plus for Saw 2. But let's see what happens with these victims of Jigsaw. Meanwhile, in the place that the victims are being captive, the final victim wakes up. Her name is Amanda, a previous victim of Jigsaw's. Right away, in a panic, she searches for clues, and of course finds the tape recorder, just like before, with a message for them all. See, now this right here, introducing Amanda, is what makes it a direct sequel. If Amanda wasn't in it, it would just be another sequel with no ties to the original. So Amanda being in it is what makes it a direct sequel. So that's one of the tweaks they put on Boseman's original script, was introducing Amanda into it. Because just think about it, if Amanda wasn't in it, how could it really be a direct sequel? Because if you've seen this movie before, without Amanda, there are no references to the original. There's no timeline. There's no how much farther after is this. But with her, you could see that it was very recent, because the way she's acting, she's like, oh shit, I'm doing this again, you know? But once again, that's another surprise, because I remember being in theaters and I was like, that's the bitch from the first one! Even though she had like 2 minutes of screen time in the first one, but still, it's a nice ad, and it really helps this movie move along as well with the plot. So let's see what these guys are in store for. Not too long after, the door to the room opens. All of the victims approach the door with extreme caution. They happen upon the main door, which says exit on it. In a frenzy, Xavier smashes it with a bat, trying to get out, revealing nothing but bars behind. With all hope lost, they find another door. Once opened, it contains another door to another room that has a timer on it. Another tape reveals that behind that door are 2 antidotes, and the key is in a pit of needles. Desperate, Xavier grabs Amanda and throws her into the pit, forcing her to search for the key. Amanda finds the key and throws it on the floor, and Xavier grabs it and rushes to the door. But in his panic, he stumbles and does not open the door in time. Okay, so some facts. This entire movie, this whole house scene, was filmed in an actual house in Canada that the developers and the studio had rented out and made it look just totally fucked up, right? And they're in that house the entire time filming. And the scene of the needle pit, originally written, it was going to be a bathtub full of needles, but they thought that wasn't fucked up enough. So they filled a pit of needles. Now, obviously, they're not real needles. I mean, the needle's not there. They replaced all the needles with a fiber tip, so it just bends and it doesn't stick her. But there are approximately 120,000 needles, and they had to replace all of those needle heads by hand. Took that needle head out, put the fiber tip in. That's a pain in the ass. It took 4 days to fill the pit. That's the longest time out of all the places and all the scenes to prepare. That took the longest. But also, while they were doing it, they had realized that they accidentally put some needles in there that had their tips on still. So once they filled it up, they had to go back into in the pit and find the ones that still had the tip. So they were literally looking for a needle in a needle stack. What a pain in the ass, right? But this scene is actually one of the more unique parts of the film because it's very sadistic and just like crazy because it's a pit of fucking needles, you know? Ugh. Well, let's see what else happens with Jigsaw and his victims. Meanwhile, back at Jigsaw's hideout, Detective Matthews finds out that all the people that his son is trapped with are people that he falsely incriminated. In a rage, he just decides to torture Jigsaw and stop playing nice to get information out of him and find out where his son is. Finally getting what he wants, Detective Matthews takes Jigsaw, steals a SWAT car, and heads to the house. And that's where I'm going to stop it. Now, obviously, I didn't show a lot because, once again, this is a mystery, thriller, suspense movie. I can't give away too much in this review, especially if you haven't seen it before and you're interested in the film. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to show too much. I want to leave that shock and awe factor for you. And for the people that have seen it, what you bitching about? You've seen it. So if you've seen the movie, drop in the comments what you like about this movie, what you don't like about it, and your favorite scene. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, especially if you've seen the first one. Go watch it. Come back here. Tell me what you liked about it, didn't like about it, and your favorite scene. Okay, so this is supposed to be a horror movie, right? Now, as a horror movie, that's how I'm going to rate it. As a movie itself, the plot, it's good. It is. It really is. The plot's great. Everything plays out great. It's a good movie. But as a horror movie, not so much to me. It doesn't really scare me, not like the first one scared me. So I'm going to say, as a movie in general, I'm going to give it 2 ratings. As a movie in general, how it entertains, keep you guessing everything, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. But as a horror movie, I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10. Because there's just no real scare factor. Especially if you've already seen it before. Like sometimes when you see a horror movie over and over again, you still jump, even though you know it's coming. But there's really nothing that made you jump. It's just like a, oh shit type of movie instead of a fuck type of movie. You know what I mean? And that's what this is. So as a movie in itself, 9 out of 10. And as a horror movie, 7 out of 10. So, but this film did really good. It actually, once it was released on DVD, it sold 3 million copies. 3 million copies, which made it Lionsgate Entertainment's fastest selling DVD of all time, which is pretty insane. Besides that, this the guy that directed it, the writer of the script, Boseman, he also, with this success, he went on to do the next 2 films in it, Saw 3 and Saw 4, which I'm going to get to those as well, and the rest of them. So if you stuck with me through this whole time, please give this video a like, share amongst your friends. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'm at like 520 something subscribers right now. Feeling really blessed about that because I love succeeding at something that I love doing and enjoy doing. I mean, I love movies. Movies are my thing. So, but also, if you have a recommendation for anything you'd like me to do, drop that down in the comments as well. So, until next time, see you then.